Hello everybody and welcome to another general vlog video. Oh my god, did I just shout at you guys? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Different day, same shirt. I will show you what's behind me, and this is another thing that I've got to fix in the mobile before I put it up for sale. And this time I'm going to fix it and fix it right. And I'll explain all that to you here in just a second. But first, let's show you the damage. As you can see, I got my air conditioner cover off. But if you can see, get you in here a little bit closer. Right here, we had some water leak down, and it bubbled the texture and the paint. So as you can see, I've got a heck of a mess down there to clean up. I've chipped all of that away. A couple little spots like right in here. Right over here, there's a seam. This is in the cat's bedroom, the guest bedroom, I guess it should be actually referred to as. And there's just some things in here that I wanted to clean up and get taken care of. And that is our project for today. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing over here. I think if I can get you guys down here low enough. Oh, I hope that didn't make you sick. That was an awful quick movement. So basically what I'm doing is I am taking this seam right here, is what we call a thick seam, and it just keeps cracking. So I'm going to go right beside, about a 1/4 inch beside each side of the crack, and just like that, cut it out. And down in there, let's see. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it all. So this is basically what I'm doing. It's just this one seam here. Actually, in the whole place, it's just this one seam. But we're going to try to alleviate that problem now. Let's see. Yeah, see that plaster got kind of thick there. And I'm pushing on the seams and they're not moving. So that's all that it is. So now, let me get up here. I want to run this in here just a little bit wider. Just like that. Come to this side. Widen it out just a little. Just enough to make it to where it'll fit down in there. Now up in here, there's hardly anything. But I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm even doing. All you're doing is looking at my big old belly. So I'm doing the same thing. I just want to do one-time cleanup, not a bunch. Once again, I'm pushing on each side, making sure that it's stable. And that's probably about as high up as I need to go. There's no cracks up in there. So now that that's done, and this one over here is done, I think what I'm going to do is work on getting the air conditioner back together. And then we'll get out our spackling. And you can even see it started. Now this isn't really dripping, because you can see there was nothing up here. A little bit right there. I think it's more condensation. And what I thought was wrong was I thought my air conditioner was not tilted properly. Let me get you back up here where I can see your guys' beautiful faces. Alright. So what I thought was wrong was my air conditioner was not, of course I'm going to exaggerate, was not tilted properly to let all the water drain out the back. That wasn't the case. I went out there and all facts was just going to take screws out, reset it, and get more of an angle. And I went out there and I looked and I thought, gosh almighty, that's got a lot of angle. But I went and looked and the drain was clogged. So basically what it was doing was filling up, coming back up in through the wall. And I'm just going to have to keep my eye on that at least twice a year. Go out there and clean that drain. So I think for right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up. And then we'll work on getting this thing back together. And you can see back in here the yellowness. I bleached that. That's just stain. Yeah, I could go back in there and paint it with a paintbrush. I'm just not feeling it. So I'm not going to really worry about it. I don't think. So let me get some of this mess cleaned up. All right, another thing I wanted to mention, and I'm going to have to use an adult word here, is I promised myself from the beginning when I decided to sell this mobile, there's a few things that are still left undone from when I did the remodel, and there's quite a bit of damage from the cat clawing up the walls, which you guys have been watching the videos on fixing that, tearing up some carpet, which I'm going to fix it correctly, and then this wall and stuff. I don't want to half-ass anything. I'm putting this up on the market, and this is my reputation. You know, so I want to do it, and I want to do it nicely and do it correctly as if I was going to still live here. And there is a possibility that I may still have to end up living here. So, you know, there's a 50-50 chance that this place may not sell. So anyways, we got all the mess down here all cleaned up. So now we're going to get the air conditioner front put back on. And then, well, first I'm going to clean this trim around it. Then we're going to get the air conditioner front put back on. And then we'll move on from there. So, be right back. Alright, well I couldn't handle the stains back in there, so I went ahead and painted it. It's drying right now. I've actually got the fan only on the air conditioner. But I don't have time to just sit here and wait, so I think what we're going to do is start filling in some of this low stuff. I'm going to try to get this out of my way somehow. Or that might work. I painted the trim, and I painted in there. Of course, in there is going to need 3 or 4 coats. But I got to let it dry in between coats. You guys can't even see what I'm pointing at in there. And as you can see, it already looks 1,000 times better. I could probably be happy with that, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. So let me get down here and open up this drywall mud. I use the ultra lightweight. Well, I hate trying to open these things, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm not doing any good sitting down. There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and fill these in, and then we'll texture over top of them. But I'm going to go ahead and just get a little bit started here. And like I said, we're going to fill them in so they're not low anymore. Just like that. I don't know if you guys can see all the way down here at the bottom, but I'm doing the same thing down at the bottom that I did at the top. Might get a little bit on the carpet, but once this stuff dries, it's just like mud, it'll come right out. And I'm going to go ahead and do some over here. Go up a little bit higher. And like I said, right now all we are trying to do is fill in the void. We're not trying to do any texturing or anything like that. I'll take and clean off my trowel, and I'll go down each side of it to make sure, you know, it's nice and smooth. And what will happen is when I go to texture, I can texture over top of this stuff, and it'll work out. It'll look natural. It won't look like it's been touched up. got one little spot right here. Do the same thing. A little bit more mud in it. And you can tell when you've got enough mud in it because it basically just disappears. And just keep working that mud in there until it all disappears, and that's what you've got. Same thing here, you know, just kind of push it in, you know, make sure that you get, let me get you up here where you can see me. Make sure that you push it in a little bit, not stupid, you know, amounts of pressure, but just enough that, you know that it went in there and dispersed all the way into the crack. Then I'll come down. I see one little void spot here. Let me move you guys. And we'll fill it up. We'll come down. We like the looks of that. We'll clean off our blade a little bit. And then we'll come down here onto each side. And there we go. That was fixed up and taken care of that quick. So now I'll finish this other over here. All right, and just like that, we've got all the valleys filled. This seam over here, this seam over here around the electrical plug. I got a little on the electrical plug. I'll go ahead and wipe that off. And then that's it. So now we're just waiting on like everything in the world to dry. So I'm going to plug this back in. I had to take the plug off to do back behind of it. We got the fan blowing in there. We can see it already blew up a piece of dirt. We'll pick that off there before we put our second coat on. And once this all dries, then we're looking at texturing. And then once we texture, then we paint. You know how it goes. So let's let some of this dry and we'll be right back. Alright, so let me show you what I did. As you can see, I went ahead and painted back in there. And once again, you can't use spray paint because that's styrofoam. If you use spray paint, it's going to melt your styrofoam. So I just use regular house paint, sealing paint actually. And got a clean filter, got all this out here cleaned. Got the trim around it painted. I'm just tucking that little piece right there back in. I had to go ahead and put a little bit more on the seams over here on mud, joint compound. So now it's just pulling some tools out of here that are kind of in my way and waiting, waiting for this to dry. It'll probably be later this evening before it's dry. I'll try to bring you guys back when I get that done. And we'll kind of go from there. But as of right now, I've got the bed pulled out, if you can see over here. And I see a little bit of dust on this blanket right here. All right, there we go. Got all my mess cleaned up. We're just waiting. Next we'll texture, we'll let it dry. And then as soon as it's dried, then we'll get to painting it. So, fun. We'll see you guys here in just a second. Alright, so now it looks like it's dry enough. You can see up in here it's white. Down in through there it's a little bit gray. But if you touch it, it's hard. So, it's good enough now to texture. I'm going to get everything set up and we'll start texturing. Alright, not sure how good you can see that, but I've got the texture on there. So now all we're going to do is just now start texturing. And we'll try to get it just as uniform, like I showed before. If you follow your old swirl marks, it's pretty easy to do. You know, don't get it too thick in one spot. Just kind of keep feathering it out. Like I got a little thick there on my first coat. So now I want to just kind of thicken that up, feather it out. Same thing there. That honestly looks really, really, really good. Let me get up and do right up in here. Now with me, a lot of the area has to do with how I texture. And I'm still going from that from the first time. So, you know, the first time that I ever textured this. The area kind of displays how you have to texture. You know, whether you can use large circles, small circles if you're in a tighter area. All right, so now it's down to what's back behind you. Well, actually right off to the side of you. And if you look, you can see now that that's textured. Now let me go over here and just kind of see if I can get some texture on this. Let me get you guys up here where you can actually see what I'm doing. I can't readjust the tripod right now. So we're just kind of putting it on and wiping it off all at the same time. We don't want a lot. We don't want a lot at all. So I'm just kind of putting it on, wiping it off, putting it on, wiping it off. I do need to take this this other cover off right here. Let me get you down here. I need to take this cover off. So we'll do that real quick. Well, I said I would, but it's a 20-mile screw. And I can't use my other hand. There we go. So now we'll just smooch some on there. Maybe try to move the bucket a little bit so we can get down in here towards the carpet. And like I said, if you get any on the carpet, don't worry. It comes off really easy. Oh, I did not want to drop that big blob on the floor though. I can tell you that. So, all right. So now we'll start texturing. I'm not liking the way that's working. There we go. Maybe I took a little too much off that time. All right, I'm going to have to end up getting my other hand in it, and then I can't pause the video, so I'm going to pause it now and finish it. All right, so there we got it textured. We're just going to wait for it to dry. Got that part there all textured. Got that seam there all textured. You know, you can't really even see it other than it's white. So let's let this stuff dry. And then we got to clean the cord of this off. But we'll wait until this dries so we don't make any mistakes. And then we're ready to put 2 coats of paint. Oh, excuse me, I'm reaching down to grab the charger cable. We're ready to start putting 2 coats of paint and getting this bedroom all set back up. I got some cleaning of some doors and stuff in here where I've got 2 different chairs in here that are computer chairs, and they brush up against the wall. They don't scratch or anything, they just leave a little bit of black mark. So I got to get in here and clean those up, but I won't do any of that until I've painted and the paint's dried, so don't cause any accidents. So let's let this dry for a second and come right back and paint it. Alright, so now let's get to painting this thing. You guys don't know it, but it's about 6 to 8 hours later. Alright, so I'm just going to get my roller rolled up here. Still use, and I just dropped my paintbrush in there again. I did that last night. Well, I'm beginning to expect nothing different from me. Alright, so anyways, we're just going to throw a first coat on this stuff real quick. Just kind of give it a little bit of a heads up. You know, if we can give it a little bit of a leeway here, I'm still not finding the word I'm looking for. Give it a little bit of advantage by putting that first coat on now. And then once it dries, now it's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I would like to come in here and paint this wall. I think I'm going to paint the whole wall. But I'd like to go ahead and get the first coats on this before I do that. That way it can soak into that texturing. I know, all you guys are seeing is my backside. I'm sorry about that. I gotta keep going around you to get to the paint back here. I fell asleep earlier, so I should have no problem. Boy, I hate blocking you guys. I should have no problem staying awake long enough to do this. Shouldn't take but about an hour. All right, let's do this roller one more time. All right, kind of get down here a little bit lower. Try to get some of this as low as we can. And then we'll take the brush and we'll finish up. I might as well go ahead and just kind of roll this right here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now let me get my brush and get it touched up. Alright, now we got the first coat on everything. So now we can give that about, 30 minutes to dry. And then we can come in here and kind of blend the whole wall in. And I think that'll make all the difference in the world. Alright, not sure how well the light's working. I know you can see some shiny spots. I did just make sure I didn't just see a run right there. I did go up and trimmed in, cut in everything. I keep seeing things I've missed. Anyways, so that's actually 3 coats, the whole wall, all the way back behind the bed. Figured that was the easiest and quickest way to do it. I think now that we're done, I think I'm going to end the video. You can see the air conditioner is now clean. You can see even the plugs are clean. The cord's clean-ish. I didn't do perfect on the cord, but close enough. The wall's all painted. You see no more damage. You can still see that seam a little bit, but not much. Not much at all. You'd have to be looking for it to find it. So I think now I'm going to make this bed, this bunk bed. Snoopy's in here to visit me. Now I'm going to make this bunk bed while I can get to the back, and it's a whole lot easier to make. So we're going to get this here all cleaned up and get everything put back the way that it goes. Get the floor vacuumed, get the tape up and everything, and call this room done for that part. Next, we have to wipe down the walls, like I told you earlier, to get some of the black off the bottoms. Ceiling looks good. Ceiling looks perfect. The light's real nice. Got a flat screen TV back here. Got a desk beside of you. 2 closets. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 drawers. 2 upper cabinets for storage. Great room. This was my room for 2 years. I love this room. I kind of miss this room. With all that being said, you guys, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Like and subscribe. Once you've subscribed, click that bell notification. Go all the way up to the top and click all so you'll be notified on every single video and live stream that we publish. Share us on your social media pages. Follow us under. See, I messed it up. Follow us on Facebook under General Vlog Video. And please remember that when I ask you guys to subscribe, it's not like a magazine subscription. It's 100% free, does not cost a dime, just helps our channel grow. The same way a thumbs up helps our channel grow. With all that being said, I got a feeling I might have a lot of paint on my back. Anyways, with all that being said, I may have a bunch of paint on my back and maybe everywhere else. Actually, I've washed my hands. But I'm still my own cameraman, which means I got to get up close and personal and gently poke you guys in the ear, turn this thing off. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and even better tomorrow and an awesome night. And we'll see you on the next video or live stream. And please, please, please be safe and stay warm. We'll see you on the next video.